Last episode, I spent hours and hours completely destroying the end. And now I'm going to collect up thousands of items, then get to work creating buildings and towers to build a massive end hub. Trust me, it's worth the wait. I have hundreds of notch apples, loads and loads of deep slate diamond ore, and so many other precious blocks. But you know what I don't have a lot of? Emerald ore. Yep, I only have one emerald ore in this entire world. Okay, actually, that's a lie. I may have two more there. But still, 3 in this entire world. It's just not good enough. Okay, yes, I actually have 4, because there's 1 in my collection of every single Minecraft block. But anyway, today I'm going to change all of that because I'm going to go out there and find 100 blocks of emerald ore. In theory, it shouldn't be too hard. I just need to find a mountainous biome. And I'm also going to give myself 1 hour on the clock. Let's see if I can do it in time. To be honest, something tells me I'm in the wrong area to find a mountain. Although thankfully I've come to land again, so hopefully things work out a bit better. Maybe up here there could be something. Emerald is most common at Y256. And considering my current height is 156, it's kind of unlikely that that's the place. I'll try and find somewhere better. This looks like a better place to me. But is there any emerald ore? That is the question. So far not seeing much, but that's because of all the snow. Maybe if I could get... Okay, well, what on earth just happened there? We don't want to be inside powdered snow, please. That would not be ideal. Let's just mine through and look inside a cave. There's got to be someone here somewhere. It's very promising by the looks of things. I just have to keep searching. And maybe I was a bit optimistic thinking I could find 100 of these an hour. It's going to be quite the challenge. But hey, I've successfully found the first one. Fantastic. It is just 1, unfortunately, but 1 is better than none. Nearly 10 minutes in and that's all I've found. You can probably see now why I only had 4 of these in my entire world. I'm thinking strip mining could be the way, which is why I'm giving it a go. And I found some. Okay, well, it is definitely the way. And now that I'm going to commit to this method, I have an idea. The idea is quite simple. I just grab myself a few iron blocks and build a full beacon. Now to activate it, get my haste 2, and it'll allow me to strip mine for emerald ore extremely fast. There we go, we got some already. Fantastic. Okay, you know what? It's going to be tricky, but it might just be doable. Yeah, I'm getting loads. Oh, it's happening, guys. I think I can do it. I think I might have just got the method to find emerald ore. After a strong start, I actually haven't found any in a while, which is a little bit weird. Oh, well, okay. That ends the curse. We've got 6. Make that 7, and we're 17 minutes in. Can it be done, ladies and gentlemen? Can I do it? I'm optimistic that I can get close to it, but time will tell. There we have piece number 10. And 11, there was 2 there. That's why you've got to mine behind them, because you just never know. And whilst I'm doing this, I might as well try and keep as much of the stone as possible. So yes, this is eating into my time, but I'm going to make a few shulker boxes, just so I can keep collecting it all. I'm over 30 minutes in, and I'm starting to lose my optimism that I can get 100 in an hour. It's definitely slowed down quite a lot. And that is the 20th one, and the 21st. And at this point, it will take a miracle to reach my goal. And on another note, it's probably a good idea for me to repair my pickaxe before it breaks, otherwise that would be a bit of a disaster. Thankfully, such a task is pretty straightforward. I just have to keep breaking the sculpt catalysts. And from there, I can just keep on mining. 50 minutes in, 24 pieces. If I can get to 30 before the hour's up, I'll be pretty happy. And I've just passed the hour mark. Didn't even get a single one in that last 10 minutes. That's pretty awful. I'm going to get to the end of this strip. And then I'm going to mine away at these taller bits up here. Because I feel like I was getting too low down to find emerald in the other bit. Which is why it went so slow. Although even up here, there isn't any. So you know what? I'm going to try and find another mountain. Which first means I must destroy this entire beacon. And with that successfully done, I need to find a higher mountain. I mean, that's pretty tall over there. I'm putting the render distance up. That's only going to help me. Turns out there's mountains everywhere. I'm going over this way. Yeah, this is perfect. It's even taller than the one I was at before. By almost 100 blocks. You know, if I had come here first, I'm sure I would have found way more emeralds. So I'm going to set up the new beacon right here. And then get back to work searching for emeralds. Already found some. Okay, yes, this is way better now that I'm higher up. Oh, it's going fast. Yeah, I really made a mistake not coming here earlier. No wonder I didn't do it in an hour. But now I'm optimistic I can do it in less than 2 hours. Or at least I hope so, because I don't want to spend the entire video just mining for emeralds. And that's it. 32 pieces. You know what? I know I said I was going to get 100, but this has just taken forever. Even when I came to this higher up area, it's still pretty slow. So I'm happy with what I've managed to collect. I'm removing the entire beacon again and heading back home. Here we are, home sweet home. I'm going to pick up these extra 3 here. And then all my emerald ore for now can go in this chest. Eventually, I'd like to have a much bigger collection of it. But for now, 35 is all that I've got. Also, guys, have you ever wondered what SP737 stands for? Well, it's Sunbeam 737! Okay, not really, but that's the name of the merch line that I have released for this summer. There's a t-shirt, a cap, a water bottle, which can also be used as a hot water flask, and SB737 sunglasses that will let you look as cool as me. Plus the shorts, which are my favourite item. They're really, really comfy, very, very high quality. I wear them all the time. You just can't see me wearing them now. Because as far as you guys are concerned, I don't have legs, just like I don't have ears. Anyway, all of this is available on SB737.store. I'm now going to quickly fly up here to repair this pickaxe because it really needs it. There's actually a load of XP left down there. Why is the hopper not picking up all the gold, by the way? I wonder if it's because there used to be a hopper minecart right there, but it doesn't look like it is now. Maybe that's the problem. Which might as well be fixed because I am going to end up needing a lot of gold for the end hub. I'm talking 40,000 gold blocks, okay? For some reason, I've decided that I think it'll be cool to have that much gold on it. And whilst this gold farm isn't the fastest one in my world, it's the most easily accessible farm for me to get XP, which is why I tend to use it quite a bit. So first of all, a hopper minecart needs to be pushed into a partly eaten cake. I think it'll be okay, actually, if it's that way around. I'm sure it'll work, or at least I hope it'll work. We'll just push it in and see what happens, I suppose. And then from there, I'm going to activate this piston and just see what happens. Will it work? Okay, no, that didn't work. Instead, to do this, I'm going to have to take a slightly different approach, which is to break both of these pieces of cobblestone. Oh, and then it's fall through. Oh, I've got to redo all the minecarts as well. Okay, how many of them are there? 1, 2, 3. I think there's about 40. That's way more than there needs to be. Anyway, let's now get back to fixing this. The cake goes here. I'll be able to eat some slices soon, as soon as I run out of hunger, which can probably be done if I try and take damage, or if I just keep running around. There we go. I've lost a hunger bar or two, so I can eat the cake, push the minecart along, break everything, place everything back, and push the blocks into the minecart hopper. And I think it should once again be working as intended with all that there. And the only way to test it is to put back all the minecarts, break this dirt, and anger the pigmen. All right, system, please work. My pickaxe is being repaired, which is one good thing, and the gold is once again being collected, which is another good thing. And this is great and everything. It's not the fastest gold farm in the world, but it does work well. And it's also currently the only working gold farm I actually have. You see, last episode when I built this new and improved witherhead farm, I made a slight mistake. The mistake was I built it too close to this, so it is affecting the rates of the gold farm, and it makes it so that farm doesn't work properly either, the fortress farm, which I mainly used to get blaze rods. So there's only one way to fix it. It's very, very important I do it. I'm going to make an on-off switch for it where everything will be lit up if I flick the switch on. How will I do that? Well, quite simply, I'll be using redstone lamps. I've got quite a few of them in this chest. Hopefully 53 will be enough. I think I'm sure it'll be fine. And then I'll also need glass, as well as redstone dust and redstone repeaters. Now, to make this easier, I'm first going to activate the mob switch, which is just all of those shulkers right there, because otherwise I would have had things like blaze and pigmen attacking me all the time. It just would have been a nightmare. But yeah, the plan is pretty simple. Basically, underneath every single wall, I'm going to place a redstone lamp. And I'm really hoping I have enough, but I'm starting to be not too optimistic about that. Yeah, I didn't bring it anywhere near enough. I'm going to need at least another stack of them, which means flying all the way back home. I'll grab the 64 glowstone, combine it with these, and we are back on track. They're all placed down. Now I'm going to have to put glass underneath, and I reckon the easiest way will be to do something like this. And then, yeah, I can just connect everything up with target blocks underneath each one. So redstone like that, and then yeah, target block there. There needs to be a repeater going. Why have I not got my totem at? Let's just keep the totem safe. But yeah, there has to be a repeater like that to make sure that the signal passes through the target block. So it is quite a resource heavy process, but it'll be worth it in the end. I've got every piece of glass down, so I thought that would be easiest. Now I'm just going to continue putting all the redstone in. Do I need a repeater there? No, I don't. I think I just need to go like that, put that there, and then the repeaters can begin. And it also looks like I'm definitely not going to have enough target blocks or repeaters. Well, I might be okay for repeaters, but definitely with target blocks I don't. So I'll nip home to grab an extra stack. And I'll craft some extra repeaters while I'm at it too. That's all the redstone down. Now for the moment of truth. Will it actually work? The lever goes here. I flick it, and every single lamp turns on. Oh, fantastic. And unless I've made a miscalculation, that should disable the farm. So I'll reload the world to disable the mob switch, and then I'll fly all the way up here, and the plans work perfectly. Not a single mob has spawned. Fantastic. I'm going to also use the same thing that I built here to turn off this farm. Although this is a bit of a tricky platform to get to. I should make it bigger since I have a bit of spare glass. Always annoying when I'm trying to fly onto it, and I have to, like, go underneath and then rocket onto it. That is a much easier way. So that's disabled. That's disabled, which means in theory the only farm that should be in use is this one right here. And the gold's coming through nicely, but since I'm going to need so much of it, I'm going to need a lot of inventory space. I'm going to first nip back home just to offload all of these unnecessary items. I'm going to need 20 shulker boxes of gold blocks, so I'm going to be optimistic and grab every single one of them now. In fact, it's actually 25 shulker boxes worth, so yeah, I'm being very, very optimistic. And I'll dye every single one of them to be yellow. Just to give you an idea of how much gold this end hub is actually going to use, this gold palace took about 4,000 gold blocks. How much gold will the end hub need? Well, it's a grand total of 44,000 gold blocks. So yeah, a massive, massive amount. So I'll put all these shulker boxes in here and just let the gold keep rolling in. It's going to take quite a bit of time to get all this gold, I can tell already. But as you can see, I've got quite a good amount. But in the grand scheme of things, we need a lot more. So I shall just keep waiting for all this gold to come in until I get close to a full shulker box worth. I've been AFKing here for ages and ages and ages, and I just keep crafting the gold server every now and again. I've worked out going like this on a chest and just emptying it out and then standing where those nuggets go and just crafting new ones is the fastest way to do it, because then, assuming you can reach the crafting table, you don't have to keep restocking your inventory or anything like that. I've almost got that first shulker box worth of gold blocks, and there's still many nuggets on the ground here. I've just got to make sure that I get everything crafted before they all despawn, which is why moving this crafting table a little bit nearer might be quite a smart idea. Another stack, nearly 2 stacks worth. You know what? I'm so close. I only need 61 more gold blocks. I've just got to stay. In fact, they might... Yeah, look at this. We've got quite a few. And I bet these hoppers... Yeah, they're full to the brim. Fantastic. We might just have enough. Well, time will tell anyway. I reckon it's going to be very, very close indeed. That's every single nugget I have left, apart from these new ones coming through. And we've done it. An entire shulker box of gold blocks. I admit it was a little bit too optimistic to bring all of these and think that I could fill them. It takes ages and ages just to do one. I might have to slightly modify the design of this end hub so that I don't spend the next 1,000 days just AFKing for gold. Now, another thing that I'm going to need a seriously high amount of for this build is cyan terracotta. Almost 10 shulker boxes of it to be precise. Oh, by the way, we have quite a few gold blocks in there and gold, which is good to know about. But yeah, 10 stacks of cyan terracotta. At the moment, we have none. Actually, that's not true. We have 2 in this chest here. We've got regular terracotta there, which I don't know why, because we have a terracotta chest. So here you can see we've got 3 shulker boxes worth. We need to get 10 of them, really. So I'll craft a load more of these, and then I'll head out to a mesa biome. I can't exactly remember where one is, but I think there's one somewhere in this direction. Exactly where, I'm not sure, but I know if I keep flying in this direction, I'll eventually come to it. You see, what did I tell you guys? I knew that there'd be one in this direction somewhere, because this is where I normally fly when I want to find one of these. And last time I mined up terracotta, I got told by you guys that you only need a haste 1 beacon to insta-mine it. I made a full haste 2 one, but yeah, just haste 1 should be enough in theory. Well, we're about to find out if you're correct. Oh, you are? Well, that saves me a lot of effort, doesn't it? Because don't have to build a massive one at all, do I? And not having to spend ages building a beacon is always a positive, because it means I can just spend more time mining away. The only annoying thing is, because it's a smaller beacon, it doesn't have quite as big of a range as a full one, so I have to keep coming back and making sure I don't mine too far away from it. See, I've come back, got haste again, and then I can continue my mining. Shulker box number 1 has been successfully filled, which means there's just 6 more to go. At this point, I'm pretty sure I've got every single bit I need. I'm also in a change of location, as you can see. But yeah, 10 shulker boxes worth, all in there, all completely full. So with that, I can remove this beacon, which is pretty easy because it's only a little one. It's definitely a better thing not making a full one, other than the fact that the time you get the effect for is a lot lower and it has way less of a range. But other than that, it was a great idea from you guys. So now to gather up every single one of these shulker boxes and fly on home. I was going to say I could get some loot from here, but it looks like I've already visited this place before. Should we take the sandstone? And it is likely I'm going to come back to a desert, maybe this very one, because I will very soon need loads and loads of sand. Here we are, home sweet home. You know what, as I've returned, I've just noticed this massive thing, and it just doesn't need to be there. I know it's been here for absolutely ages, but at this point, I don't know why I've still got it. It was great for moving shulkers from here into the void base down there. But at this point, I think it's got to go. Thankfully, it isn't that big of a structure at all to get rid of, so it's a fairly quick process. And on a side note, midway through making this video, 1.20 has come out. I'm not going to upgrade in this video, but the next hardcore episode will be 1.20, and I cannot wait, because there's stuff like armor trims and so many other good stuff. And that is the platform fully removed. Now for the pillar, which is also completely gone. Also, it seems my inventory's a bit too full to pick up every single material. So I'll drop all of this stuff off, and then I can gather up the rest. Now, as I established earlier, I need 10 stacks of cyan terracotta. So I've got the terracotta, but I still need over a shulker box of cyan dye. And right now, Yeah, I've got 17. And to make cyan dye, you just need a lot of blue dye and a lot of green dye. Unfortunately, if I head down here towards the Guardian farm and then move away from this massive lava farm, in fact, I think there's 2 lava farms there. But if we go this way, I've got a massive smeltery unit. There's 4 of these here, which is below a cactus farm. Now, this was actually built just to get me loads and loads of XP, and it does. It's very, very good. But if I just go and turn that on, the method of getting said XP, oh, that's so satisfying to watch, by the way. But the method of getting said XP is by smelting cactus. So if I just go ahead and flick these levers on, it will lock every single furnace so that when something smelts, which I'll just have to wait for it to get there. As you can see, when it smelts, it'll just stay. If I was to unflick the lever, it would go into the hoppers and get burned. Like so. As you can see, there's lava there, and it would fall if I wasn't picking it up. I'll lock those ones as well. So yeah, the plan is simple. I'm just going to turn on every single one and then just get a crazy amount of green dye. This was my attempt to make the fastest XP farm. I think if I really went for it and built some... Wait, why is this not working? Oh, I need to turn it on. You see, I made it so if that lever's flicked, you can't leave, because otherwise if I leave the area, it'll unload everything. It'll break all the minecarts. But I'm not leaving the area. I just want to show you the size of the cactus farm. Look at it. There's so much here. And it is planned to be bigger as well one day. But yeah, not anytime soon, but it is just layers and layers and layers of cactus. And it was built above a Guardian farm so that I could also get the XP from that. It's a dual thing. That's the entire plan of it. And these are filling up nicely. Once they all get to 64, then I'll just go on a massive harvesting spree. And to store them all, I'm probably going to need quite a few shulker boxes. I'll make 2 for now. I'll make 3. You know me. Always like to push the boat out, which is what I'm doing with an extra shulker box. And in fact, whilst I wait for that, I've got another idea. I might as well use the lava farm. In fact, I'll use both lava farms. I'll use this one first. Yeah, I've got loads and loads of lava. Might as well use it. We've got loads and loads of buckets as well, as you can see. It's just kind of necessary for the whole thing. I think I'm just going to have to fill my inventory up like that. Then I can press the button and then just hold right click so that I constantly collect up the lava. And every time there's a full cauldron, it harvests and goes into the storage system. That's the first one finished. Is there loads of lava buckets? Oh, you bet there's loads of lava buckets. Have we even got enough storage for all these? I'm starting to think maybe we're a little full. Although are these... Yeah, look at it. It's all full. Although these ones down here are kind of empty. So yeah, we still got plenty of space. Plenty of space for me to now use this one. Mission accomplished. Can chuck some buckets in there. Yeah, because we don't have that many over this way. And it looks like the cactus is almost ready to start being gathered up. Nearly at a stack, which is absolutely perfect. And I just realized this is going to be loads of XP too, which is fantastic. And that's every single one emptied. Gain like 10 levels from it as well, which is pretty good. So we've got over 3 full shulker boxes. I'm glad I made those 3 now. And just before I leave the area, I am going to run the lava farm one more time. Might as well, because buckets of lava always come in handy. Hopefully all that lava keeps me going for quite a while. I mean, there's a lot more full chests now, which is good. And then I can turn off the machine and safely leave once these pistons extend. I've just got to wait a little bit for it. There we go. Operation Get Loads of Green Dye is complete. So now I just need to update the stocks for blue dye, which I reckon shouldn't be too difficult because I also have a place that can get me that. I set off in this direction thinking I was going to the farm. Just remembered, this is the orchid flower farm. It works really, really well. I don't even know if I have it. Yeah, look at that. We've got loads in it, or a few in here. But I don't need that. Oh yeah, the floating vines as well. But anyway, I don't need the orchid farm. I need the cornflower farm. And that one happens to be located in a flower forest biome, which is quite far away. Hence the reason that I'm using nether portal travel to get there quite a bit faster. So here it is. Before I activate it, I'll just double check that there is more than enough bone meal in here, which I think, yeah, it looks like there's a decent amount to go at, isn't there? So I'll start the farm like so. And as you can see, cornflowers just keep growing. And then they will get pushed along by the gates. There you go. Well, they kind of fall through the gaps of the gates anyway. And then they go into all of this, they get sorted, and they fill up the chests. And they also have a nice little system where any seeds just go into these composters, and then that gets turned to bone meal, which will get fired upwards back into the machine. So it's quite renewable as well. And whilst I'm waiting for it to all grow, I might as well, yeah, take a load of... Okay, why have we got random grass blocks? I have no idea. But I'll take a load of these bones and add a load more to the machine. Already in that short amount of time, I've got nearly 4 stacks. In fact, more than that because it's going into all the chests. This is fantastic. And I think I'm going to pre-craft it as I put it in. Rather than just putting cornflowers in, yeah, I'm going to fill the shulker boxes with actual blue dye. So then I don't have to worry about crafting it at a later date. And there you have it. Every single one has been successfully filled. Got a little bit of room in my inventory for these extra bits as well. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll grab that shulker. I'll grab all these shulker boxes because they're worth taking home. I'll take this ender chest because I don't want to leave it about. And then any space I have for some extra ones, I'll grab those. Then I'll shut off the machine and call it A job well done. And this is now a great opportunity for me to go on a big crafting spree to get all of that cyan dye and then that cyan terracotta. So first, I'm going to go down here and load the auto crafter up with all of the ingredients for the cyan dye to be made, which as you can see is made very easy with the auto crafter, although I think maybe it's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit too fast with this. This is problematic. Although I'm making it work. I'm just having to do something like this, which is it's a little bit annoying, isn't it? Anyway, it thankfully hasn't affected things too much. I've got enough space for everything. It was fairly quick once I got past the annoying bits of having too much and not enough inventory space for it. And now the chests are filling and it can go in the shulker boxes. And now comes the fun part. I'm going to take 9 of these and place 1 in each of the slots. Actually, to begin with, I'm only placing 8 because it won't work. Actually, no, will it work? I don't know. I might not be right with this. But then we put a cyan one in the very middle, so that now when I use this machine, it'll all be filtering through, and I can just nice and steadily craft it like this. I think it's done. I think I've received every single one, and I must have done something slightly wrong because some of them must have got chucked out like some terracotta. My only worry is there going to be enough space in these? I don't think there will. And also the best way to pick up the shulker boxes is just to go like this, and then they'll go through the system. As you can see, they're nicely arriving. So I'll start grabbing all of these and filling them up. And it looks like, yeah, we have got a lot of spare terracotta because if I stand there, it's just coming through. So I better hurry up before it all despawns. That would be a sad moment. Yeah, look at it. Filling my inventory fast. Indeed. Okay, this is good though that it's working. I think I've calmed the storm for this. It looks like the hoppers are once again keeping up. And I still do have this extra shulker box and some of these. I think maybe I should just manually craft them. As for one shulker box, a fancy machine, it's not really needed. Yeah, some of the normal terracotta is filtering through. I must have chucked some out by mistake. Yeah, actually quite a bit out by mistake. But it's all worked out in the end, as every single shulker box is full. Although having said that, I've still only got 9 shulker boxes worth, and I need 10, so I'll grab the cyan dye and get busy crafting up 1 more. So I'm very happy with that progress. And another thing I need a lot of is grey dye. Now, I have a lot of black dye. Well, probably not enough. How are we doing at ink sacks? We've got a decent amount of ink sacks, but you know what I say, you could never have too many. So I'm taking 5 shulker boxes. Yes, 5 shulker boxes. And then I'm heading to the squid farm to fill up every single one. Now, it's entirely possible, because there's a storage down here where there's already some ink sacks left over. So we're about to find out in here. I tell you what, there's a few. I'll take it. We've also got a lot of eggs and a fish. Yeah, apparently all sorts gets caught into this farm. And whilst I've got some black dye, might as well also turn the red shulker boxes to be black ones. I think they'll just look a little bit better if they're the same colour as the dye I'm collecting. So the eggs are getting chucked out. Then I go through this portal right here, and I'm in position. I just stand on this block, and squids will spawn at the farm and go through the portals. Spent a few days here. Let's just see how much we've got. We've got a lot of mobs in there, that's what it is. Why have we got so many pigmen in there? I don't know. Anyway, oh my goodness, it's overrun. Okay, I didn't expect it to be that many. This is actually a way more efficient farm than I realised. It might not be that hard to. Yeah, look at that. We've not even got space for all of the ink sacks. If I'd have known that, I would have not left it so long. But I suppose too many ink sacks is a pretty good problem to have. So I'll wait here a little bit longer to get even more. And after even more time, the chest is once again filled with ink sacks. My goodness, it's so quick. Just need a few more to filter through and I'll be sorted with my collection. But I might as well wait here for that to happen. That's mission accomplished. And so now I can begin crafting a load of grey dye, which is unfortunately going to take a lot of steps because I have to make the bones into bone meal, then that into white dye, and the ink sacks need to be turned into black dye. Man, there's just so much going on. But it'll all be worth it in the end. There we go. 2 of them filled. And now the next thing that I'm going to need so much of for this build is not TNT, but the TNT will probably come in handy. No, instead it is sand, because I'm going to need glass, I'm going to need a lot of concrete, and I've actually changed things around on the build so that I only need 1 shulker box of gold blocks, but I will need like 46 shulker boxes of yellow concrete, which is quite a lot, but it's also way easier to get than the gold blocks, so that's why I'm doing that. So my plan is simple. I must first fly all the way back to that mesa biome. Also, we've got a random woodland mansion here. That's kind of cool. And I've just come across an emerald ore. I've got to grab it. The amount of effort I went through earlier to get them, there's no way I'm now going to leave them behind when I see them. Anyway, as I was saying, back to the mesa biome, which also happens to be right next to a desert. And from there, I will set up camp and start placing down loads of TNT and detonating it as I go. From there, it can all be collected. I can fill up shulker boxes and just keep repeating the process over and over again. You've seen me do this many times. Usually I do it to get sand for TNT, but this time I'm just getting sand, so it will be very Very fast to get everything indeed. That's already the second strip collected, and yeah, I'm just going to keep going until I have every single bit. And at this point, I've pretty much run out of desert, so I'll collect up the last few bits of the sand, and I've managed to fill up all of these shulker boxes. Look at it, there's 29 of them, which does unfortunately lead me to the issue of how on earth am I going to get them all back? I don't know the answer. So I'll put as many as I can in my inventory, and I shall fly all the way back. And now each and every one can be... Wait, have I already got loads of sand? Okay, well, now we've got a lot more sand. I didn't realize I still had loads and loads in here. Yeah, I should probably start checking chests before I go on a massive collection spree. But on a positive note, I will need all that sand for another project as well, so I can't complain too much. What is that other project? Well, I'm going to have to get a lot of gravel, and the nether is the way to do that, and I need TNT, so yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of blowing up, and the sand is useful for that. Now to grab the last few remaining bits, and once again leave. Only this time, I don't have to fly back again. I need a shulker box worth of TNT. I think the craft is going to be the easiest way. This is all working nicely, and the shulker box can be loaded up. And now it's just a simple task of getting loads and loads of gravel. My method for this will be to dig down to a suitable level, create a nice big long tunnel. Look at that, ancient debris. Okay, well, I was collecting some gravel. 2 pieces of that. Nope, made that 3. And you might think I don't need ancient debris now because I've got a full netherite beacon. But once they upgrade to the new update, ancient debris will once again be quite useful. Anyway, I've dug a nice big tunnel and almost managed to get a full shulker box of gravel. So it's time to add TNT. That's all of them down. I've pretty much run out of tunnel here. So I'll light it up, grab a bit more gravel from here whilst I wait. And then the big gravel collection spree can begin. And I will, of course, be finding lots of ancient debris on the way as well, which is just a nice added bonus. That tunnel that I blew up seemed to merge with another tunnel, so I've just been exploring it and mining loads and loads of gravel. But it has to be said, it is very slow and steady work. I've got 6 shulker boxes worth, as you can see. Maybe like 6.5 when I've finished mining this little bit. And I think to fully get every material I need 14 shulker boxes worth of it, so I'm not even halfway. And I do kind of fancy doing something else and coming back to this a little bit later. So I'll dig my way out of here. In fact, I'll fly out as well. There we go. Massive treasure bastion too. Have I been to this one? Only one way to find out. Let's just dig in and swoop on down. It looks like... Well, it's hard to say, isn't it? But it's a pretty bad one anyway, so I probably have been it. Oh, okay, am I just getting smacked in the back by... Oh, there's another chest. Another chest, which is also kind of rubbish. I think what I'll do is I'll grab all of these gold blocks, as I'm going to use this as another way to get lots of gravel. I'll send all of that down there, and I'll just see how much gravel I've actually got in stock. Probably none. Yeah, not very much at all. 23 in total. So it's definitely work to be done. I did also get 22 ancient debris there, which is nice. And yes, whilst it is slower than the method I was just using, it is quite a bit easier to do. I just chill here, watch the gold come in, then craft it into ingots and barter it away. I feel like I've been AFKing here forever, and I've bartered a lot of gold, so now, for the moment of truth, how much gravel have they got me? Hopefully it's a lot. Okay, well, we've got 1 full chest. That's a very good sign. I'll load that into these. And then the chest above... Yeah, it's not very full at all, is it? But at least on the positive note, we've got quite a bit in the hopper. So about 2 shulker boxes worth there. And then, yeah, I'd say altogether maybe at a push 4 shulker boxes worth, just short of that. Because you got to remember, there is some gravel in there and a little bit in there. So yeah, over 4 shulker boxes worth. Is that enough? It's not too bad, but it's definitely a lot faster just mine it in the tunnels. All of it is now successfully in storage, and I can grab all the rest of my stuff to take it home. And interesting enough, when I combine it with all the gravel I've got at home, I have 16 shulker boxes worth, which is enough. Well, it has to be said, that is fantastic. I can finally get cracking on with other things. And the first of those is that I need 7 shulker boxes worth of glass. As you can see, there was about 7 stacks in there, not 7 shulker boxes worth. So let's get a bunch of these and fill up my giant super smelter. So far, I've put 4 shulker boxes worth into it, and as you can see, it's just melted away nicely. It gets filtered into this chest, and if I'm quick to take the item out, I can actually, yeah, get a bunch of XP from that. Look at that, there's loads of it. I nearly repaired my shovel, like repaired it half, and I would try and do the exact same thing again. Okay, well, I did manage to. It's kind of tricky though. I've had a few attempts at it. Nearly repaired the shovel fully. I'll try one more time, and I didn't miss it. Okay, we got it. Fantastic. Fully repaired shovel. Meanwhile, this is filling up nicely. Now, we are in a chunk loader, so I can pretty much just leave this to it. And I'll focus on getting another much needed material, which is yellow dye. Now, we have a few of those dandelions, but we need way, way more. How much yellow dye in itself do we have? Oh, barely any, right? We've got to get busy here, because I need 5.5 shulker boxes of yellow dye, which, as you can imagine, is a pretty hefty amount. But don't worry, I've got a farm for it. And that farm is somewhere in this direction. Yep, here it is. Didn't have very far to travel at all. Like the other flower farm, it relies completely on bone meal. And basically all I do to run it is just go like that. Then after a little while, once you're sick of the noise, you just stop it by doing that on the note block. I can pick up all these items. And I'm not interested in anything except dandelions. I know it's a kind of a waste, you know, might have some use feelers, but I'm not bothering. just purely collecting these. And yeah, a lot's going to be needed to fill all of these, so I'll put my best foot forward and get to work. Already I've filled up my inventory. The thing I've noticed that could be problematic with this is the fact that it's going to get laggy because I'm not picking up every single type of flower. So that's something potentially worth bearing in mind. In fact, I am just going to stop it again quickly. Could take a few attempts sometimes, as I just want to quickly see how my glass is getting on. Apparently the chunk loader's working well. It's all up there, so let's just take it out and add it to the shulker boxes, and I can come back to it a little bit later. And for me, I'll just continue to use this farm right here. There does come a point with this farm where it starts to get a little bit laggy, and I think I've got an idea of what I should do. That is to offload those, then grab a little bit of flint and steel and burn it all, okay? Gotta make sure I don't burn the fence, so that's, you know, where care will have to be taken. But I think it'll just be very good for the farm to do something like that. Oh, but what I was worried about is happening. Okay, we're burning up. Right, don't do that. Just destroy everything and then continue as you were. Everything was going well, but it looks like we have run out of bone meal. Just a slight oversight, but one that can be easily rectified. Like so. And the machine is back up and running. Looks to me like every dandelion I want is obtained, because once I fill this shulker box, we're looking very, very good, aren't we? Let's mine them up. And as I wait for the glass to continue filtering through from smelting up there, I can start turning all these dandelions into yellow dye. There we go. All of these are also all crafted. Not entirely sure where the spare stack or two or glass has come from, but you know what? I'm not complaining. I'll just put it into storage. And from there, I can start placing these shulker boxes. And then the big concrete powder crafting spree can begin. Out of the 25 shulker boxes, 18 have been crafted. Although, according to my maths, unless I've accidentally let some despawn, there should be 24 in total. So maybe I went wrong somewhere. Yeah, not entirely sure. Although I do know these hoppers are pretty full still with it, so it could all just be filtering through. So I'll stop when I've finished filling the shulker boxes. There they all are, and I need another 5 shulker boxes, which means getting 2 sand, 2 gravel, and a bit of yellow dye as well. Now back to the crafting I go, and it's done. The massive crafting project is completed. And now to turn it all from powder into concrete. Finally, they're all done, which means I can grab them all from the chest and load up the shulker boxes. I'm hoping that I've counted this all correct. That's not a full shulker box, but all the other ones are, so I'm going to mine them up. So that's 24, which means I just need a little bit more to craft the final bits. And with that all being collected, the hardest of the items to get is sorted, and now I can focus on all of the easier stuff, which will take me a bit of time, but it's easy stuff. Like I need 12 shulker boxes of stone and 11 of obsidian. Yeah, just easy stuff that I've already got. It's taken quite a bit of time, but now every single item is here. We've got all the concrete, all of these different stuff. Loads more materials in here. Yeah, this end hub is going to be a pretty big build. But first things first, I need to transport every single shulker box all the way to the end. Thinking I could just build a little netherrack platform for all the materials. And after 4 trips, every single bit has been transported. And the way this build is going to work is I'm going to have one massive building around this end portal, then lots of little ones connected to it with bridges and stuff. And then eventually they'll connect to those end gateways over there. And the way I plan to build it is start from the bottom of this main thing and kind of work my way up a little bit. But I apparently have not got any water, which is a bit of an oversight. I'm going to need some, so I'm going down. A couple of buckets can be easily filled, and then work can begin. I was going to use the water to kind of float down and place blocks as I go downwards, but I've just realised I've got these that I can build off from. So if I just kind of build outwards from about this level, I should be absolutely fine. It's magenta glass that I'm going to need to start off with, which I have plenty of. This is the position of the very first ring, and then the second one, the third, and once I've mined up a few more temporary blocks, also the fourth. From there, I'll just be building the rings upwards and making them bigger, so it makes it look like the entire end hub will be hovering with these beams coming downwards. That should be enough of those, so I'm now going to build upwards a little bit and start building 4 pillar-like things for the bases to go on top. And yeah, the good thing about this that makes it straightforward is it is just repeating the same thing 4 times. Whilst that does mean you end up using loads and loads of materials, at the very least, I don't have to think about what I'm doing too much. This is what I've got so far, and I'm just adding some redstone torch decorations around the outside. This is the first one done. Still gotta do it on those 3 there. And I feel like it currently doesn't look that impressive, but don't worry, okay? Give me a bit of time, and it'll look better as it gets bigger. And at this height, I'm now going to connect them all up with one big massive platform. And this massive platform is going to be in the shape of a giant circle, so I've got to make sure that I get it completely correct. The circle's all done, so now I'm filling in the middle of it. This first main building bit is really starting to take shape, and I'm going to expand it out even more with blackstone slabs to kind of make rooms here. This is going to be a big room as well. I've just got to kind of decorate it all, add staircases and stuff like that. And whilst I'm flying, let me show you it from down here. So there you go, you can see. I mean, this is a small part of it, but it is looking very cool indeed. I also have run out of firework rockets, which is a very dangerous situation, so I'm going home to make more. Good job I built these tunnels, because I'm having to do the whole journey on foot. So I will require one entire shulker box of gunpowder, and it'll also make my life easier if I just put everything into here. And I think 9 paper will do it. So 9 paper, all of that into there, 1 full inventory. Start crafting, and I'm back in business with firework rockets, which will all go in this shulker box right here. And now with the new rockets, I can get back to building. Tell you what, I just stepped back to get some more materials, and when I look at it from here, wow, it's looking good, isn't it? Look at this. It's starting to take shape. This futuristic looking kind of end hub. Yeah, this is going to be one massive room, as I've said. The walls are still being built upwards. I did actually just run out of sea lanterns as they go behind the grey stained glass just to make a cool light effect, which will be going all the way around. The outside's starting to take shape more and more, but I'm thinking I should also start to focus on this inside bit, because I can build like the staircase structure and then connect these walls to it and make like the ceiling, just to bring everything together. So I'm going to do this bit now. The inside is getting there, so there's kind of some pathways along here you'll be able to walk. I think I'm also going to put carpets on top of these sea lanterns here as well, just to make it look a little bit nicer. And I can use these rooms for something. I don't know what I'm going to use them for just yet. Maybe some crop farms, or maybe a village down here. That could be cool, but it's going to be a massive room, massive space, so that's that idea. And then along here, I'm just going to have stairs going up like so, and in the not upside down though, but yeah, it's the same all on this side. And then the middle is going to be polished diorite. Just using 2 different types of stairs gives it a little extra detail, makes it look a little bit better. Fairly simple and quite effective. Yes, it does make the staircase take a little bit longer to build, but it'll still look, well, it'll be worth it in the long run, won't it? The staircases are starting to look like they go through proper arches, and I'm going to have them go upwards like this, and then to the side like so. So let's just keep building them across and upwards. And when they connect at this point, they then go up this way. Quite a lot of building to do to finish this room, but I'm going to put my best foot forward and get on with it. This little pathway bit down here is completed. And so now I'm building a bit of a beam along the middle here, which is going to have deep slate tile slabs along the outside of it. And then there'll be all sorts of interconnecting beams to just support the entire roof, with end rods in between, of course. I think I'm happy with that. Let's have a look at it from below. Yeah, look at it. Now that it's all in place, I can grab a bunch of yellow concrete and build a massive roof over the top. It's taken a lot of concrete, but it is now done. Apart from these bits here, which I want to fill with white concrete and smooth quartz. White concrete I have here, and smooth quartz is in this one. Nicely done. And this is what the room looks like from down here. I think it's pretty cool. And so from here, I can just continue to work on expanding these walls and building up the staircases. I'm having these 2 connect to a room that goes around the end portal. And at this level, there's going to be 4 cages for the dragons, which is going to make it look really, really cool. But I think I just need to kind of continue building up this side first, make it all be in line, because it's definitely getting there. It's got that futuristic feel. It just needs to be continued to be built up. So this is how the main bit's going to look. You can see these 4 circles are for the 4 dragons, and I'm going to go around the outside of these now and build up the cages. I won't be able to put the roofs on properly because I need to push the dragons in, but I can get a good part of it done. That's all of the cyan terracotta down. So now I can start adding the glass on top. And that's as much as I'm going to build up, because if I go any further, yeah, it's going to start getting broken by the dragon. Instead, I'm going to focus on this middle bit here that goes underneath the portal. Once I place stairs all the way around like this, the middle bit around the portal is finished, although I will continue to have stairs going upwards on certain bits to like connect to the pillars. But the main thing I'm going to focus on now is having these bits go up, because they're going to kind of merge together on all 4 sides to eventually make one big roof. This first one is pretty much at the right height, and now I'm going to kind of make a circle around that the other staircases can connect to when I've built them high enough. A staircase has successfully been built all the way up here, and it will lead to like another area above, but for now I need to finish the area down here. And to do that, I'm going to begin by placing loads of stone in a ring around the top bit. Or at least I would do that if I hadn't completely run out. Good job I've got a shulker box. Oh, I'd have fallen down. As I was saying, good job I've got a shulker box completely full of it, so I can continue placing. So I've expanded it up and kind of connected it to the stairs. I think it looks alright with the stone. So from there, I've got this all around here, and I'm just thinking we're just going to put clay along the top and kind of just fill in all of it now, so it's like one big platform. Hopefully that makes sense. Going to take quite a lot of this cyan terracotta, so I'll put my best foot forward and get to work. I'm also leaving a bit of a gap in the middle so that I can have the stairs go up. So I think if we just go like that on both sides, you could just walk up to this top bit. And now that it's getting higher and higher, let's step back and admire the view. You know what? At this glance, it's starting to look good. But at the same time, considering how long I've spent on it, I almost feel like it's not that impressive. I mean, it's getting there, but yeah, at the same time, it's going to have to be really big by the time I've done. And this central building is going to eventually have an Enderman farm at the very top of it. So I'm going to keep building upwards towards that. It'll look great when it's finished. I've just got to keep going. Just a little update as to where I'm at. I'm currently building this up so that it'll all converge. Not quite at the middle because we're going to have a tower here. This is where Endermen are going to land for an Enderman farm. There's going to be a big chute all the way up to an Enderman farm at the top. At the moment, I'm just going to have it so the Endermen die when they get to the bottom and it's not an XP farm because I feel like the Endermen are going to teleport otherwise, which would definitely cause trouble. And yeah, this is a pretty straightforward task that I'm doing here. Just bring it up like that, then continue there. Add more stairs. They're all sorted, and I've added a nice little ring around the outside. It'll just help with that futuristic look. And the main thing to do now is just, yeah, build this tower really, really high. So I'll put my best foot forward and get busy building it. And it is done. Yeah, building that took so long I managed to move location while I was at it. But it is a complete Enderman farm. The only thing missing is there needs to be an Endermite at the top here. I'll add that later on. I can't be bothered right now. Plus with the mob switch, no Enderman are spawning. But look at it. It really is coming together, isn't it? And whilst it does look amazing, there's still lots of work to do. Like, I need to add extra buildings. I need to connect up all the end gateways. I need to connect it up to that obsidian platform over there. Yeah, no time to rest. Instead, I'm going to focus on building the smaller connecting islands that will go around the outside. That involves some glass rings, much like the first ones did down there. And there's going to be loads of these all over, so I'd better get busy. Starting to realize just how big of a project this is. I've managed to do every single hovering bit, which has taken me a fair bit of time. Let's mine that away. And yeah, there's going to be buildings on top of each and every one of these that connects to the main place. And hopefully building these up won't take me too long. This bottom bit is going to be made from sea lanterns. Should be nice and bright. And then a mixture of andesite and stone on top with a bit of a bridge on both sides. So this bridge is going to come out 3 and be a little 3x3 one. And then the same thing on this side. And this is going to connect up eventually to that bit of island there. So it's all going to be interlinked with bridges, looking something like that. Although I can't really build too much more until I finish that one and I know the positions properly. So I'll just kind of continue building this up. I built up a couple more, not as far as they need to go yet, but they're getting there. I've just found that if I just do these bottom bases, because I'm using the same blocks every time, it's easier than having to switch out to other ones. So this is another one where you just put these down and then it's just, yeah, the same block palette as that, so makes it 10 times faster. It's just nice because it means I don't have to keep opening and closing shulker boxes all the time. Progress is very, very steady, but I'm slowly but surely building it higher and higher. Now I'm able to make some pathways like this out of stained glass above the emeralds, which looks very nice indeed, if you ask me. And making the decision to just do one layer of every single one of these buildings at a time was definitely a good decision because it's so much easier with my inventory management, because I'm pretty much just using the same blocks all the way around. So yeah, it's 10 times better. And ultimately, in each of these 4 corners, there's going to be a big dome-shaped building, and there's going to be like a floating building in between them. That's the plan. Then we've got to connect up those. That's all we've got to do, and move the dragons, you know. Shouldn't be too bad. But anyway, I can't get too excited about how the finished product is going to look because there's still a lot of work to do, so I'm just going to keep going layer by layer. And yet another layer is now done. And as you can see, it's looking very, very good. It actually makes the islands look like they're quite established and built up now. And what I'm going to do, instead of doing it each layer all the way around, which does work well for the block palette, I'm going to build it up to the top. Then I know exactly what I need to do, and I can just repeat it on the other 4 a lot easier. So down here, we're just going to have some extra stone just to kind of give it a bit of definition, a little bit of detail. And then I'll just repeat that going upwards. So another bit of obsidian there, then stone on top. And it's kind of almost going to be a small version of that building there in a way. So I'm going to add a window along here, then a bit more obsidian. And this bit in the middle is just going to be kind of like a little spiral staircase. This is how the building is looking so far. I'm kind of starting to branch it outwards now so that it makes a bit of a dome. So I need to go across like this and then round. Yeah, just kind of making a bit of a circle shape up here, which goes all the way round. Now, this height, I'm going to make it so that it opens up into a big room. So there's going to be glass along here that you walk... Oh, we've run out. As I was saying, there's going to be glass along here that you walk onto. And then we're going to have a big circle of stone up here completely filled in with stone. And this is how the walls of this room are going to look. Just got to finish this little bit up here. And now we've got a bit of a roof area here. And I want gold blocks to be in this bit. Yeah, remember I spent ages getting all that gold? Finally, I'm going to put it to use. Although to do that, I need to find where on earth I put the shulker box with it in. Here it is. Loads and loads of blocks. And they are going to be placed along here. And now that they're all down, I'm going to have another layer of them up on this bit. And from here, I can detail the roof by adding sea lanterns, then glass in front of it, and then sandstone slabs in front of that. Then I'll add even more gold blocks that you'll only be able to see from underneath here through the glass. On top of this, there's going to be obsidian. And now I'm switching back to yellow concrete just to keep it varied, keep the detail. It's always good to use similar color blocks with slightly different textures, just to make the build look quite a bit more interesting. And rather than have it converge into a dome at the top, I'm going to have a little watchtower up here. So I'm going to add some iron trapdoors like this, and it's going to be quite detailed just to keep it that futuristic feel. Let's have some concrete there. I'll continue this glass around the top. And then I always feel like redstone items are a key to making things have a futuristic feel. And now to properly detail it, I'm going to have an anvil here, then a slab there with a lever underneath like so. And I'm going with brewing stand, a chain on top of that. Can I get on top of that? I reckon that like that. And to finish it off, a redstone torch at the very top. Can I reach the top? I can. There you go. Let's have a proper look at the building from a distance. Oh, yes. I like it. It's got that futuristic. I think I like it. Anyway, yeah, I think it works. I think maybe when everything else is around it, it'll look a little bit better. It looks a little bit out of place at the moment, but it definitely does have a futuristic feel to it. And it's very functional. You can go inside it all the way up to the top and then look through the windows. I don't know what I'm going to have up here. I definitely want villagers to live in here and stuff, like in this whole end hub, but whether in here exactly, there could be a little farm in here, you know, some crops or something, I don't know, but it looks good. Look, this is what I meant by gold there, and then it kind of goes into sandstone, and then it goes into the concrete. I really like that. Could maybe add like a light chandelier in the middle or something, I don't know, I'm not going to overcomplicate it, maybe some end rods, but all in all, I'm very pleased with it, and now I'm going to get busy building the 3 other towers, which are all the same, so I won't bore you with the details. I will just get busy and get to work. And once I get these last couple of bits on with the chain and the redstone torch, the final one of these towers is finally done. And now with them all here, it's actually starting to look really, really good and starting to take shape. Still need to build connecting platforms for all of the end gateways. Still need to move the dragons. Not looking forward to that one. And you can see there's a staircase I've started here. So that's going to connect up to those end gateway platforms. I'm going to add a few decorations as well on these. They're all a little bit blank. And I want some like hovering buildings as well in this blank space. And the hovering buildings are probably the biggest project I have left. So that is what I will crack on with. So just as is underneath the whole thing, those hovering bits, we're going to have the same little thing here. I'm just going to put that in the middle. And then these in a little square with magenta panes in the corners. From there, I can mine up this stone. I might end up needing it. I probably should have just gone back to the chest somewhere, wherever it is, and got the netherrack. And then for a careful landing, so that I can build up 3 more blocks. Probably shouldn't be using wool to build either, but anyway. And then I can just do something like this in a slightly bigger square. And yeah, just repeat this all the way up. There's going to be 2 for this side, because it's going to be like a double thing. And there's going to be that in each area. Yeah, it's a big project, but I'll just build this one here first. And then repeat it in the 3 other locations. Now that the other ring is here, I'm just building a kind of exhaust thing with stairs just to make it look good. And it will have sea lanterns in the middle. And that's the first of these exhaust pillars built up. As you can see, it really has that rocket feeling. I'm going to build another one there, and then like a building in the middle to connect them. Since it's just doing the same thing again, it should be very, very straightforward. There we go. Nicely done. And on their own, they actually look quite good. I kind of like how it is. But I do think a bit in the middle will make them look even better. So I'll get to work on that. These bits are going to be purely decorational, which means they're going to be hollow. Don't have to worry about anything going on the inside. And because there's no blocks to place inside, it will speed up the entire building process. Once I go like this, that's all I need to do to connect them up, and I've nearly reached the top. I've kind of got a cool little room here with a window, and so that needs completely roofing over. At least I would roof it over if I hadn't run out of blocks. Take 2. There we go. And I'm going to use some nice blocks to create a nice little convergence as it kind of towers up to a little point in the middle, which when completed should look very good indeed. Let's step away and have a little third person. Oh yes, I like it a lot. And when you look at it in the context of the rest of the build, it really does make it come together. Let's get a little side angle. Oh yes, lovely, lovely stuff. Now I've just got to build 3 more of them, and they don't take that long, so that's good news. I'm starting to run out of time, but there is not much work left to be done, and I definitely think they're looking good. So I'll now focus on building up the staircases on all 4 of the sides, and then I can start adding platforms that go around all the end gateways, which will be connected up by a slightly circular pathway that, again, has yellow concrete in between. There you go. You can start to see how they're going to look when they're connected, and this, yeah, has to go all the way around every single one. And because I don't have end gateways in every single slot, I'm pretty sure I should have more than 20. And maybe I haven't actually generated each one. Should have maybe done that before building them. I think an end gateway only appears when you take out a reborn ender dragon, like actually take it out. Whereas I've defeated the ender dragon loads of times, but using TNT in a machine. So that's probably why I don't have every end gateway. No, actually that doesn't make sense because I took out loads of dragons earlier. I don't know exactly in the last episode, but maybe it's because it's not the original dragon. I don't know. Either way, because it would probably look weird if I didn't have an even amount of circles spaced around, I'm going to just make ones with nothing in. Now, you can actually get bedrock in 1.20. There's a glitch to get infinite bedrock. I haven't actually probably looked into it. I've just heard it's possible. So I will probably be doing that in the future. And I can build my own little end gateway things that just won't have the portal inside. But I'm sure it'll look really, really cool. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is mission accomplished. I've also got loads of spare obsidian and concrete, mainly because I kind of overestimated how many I needed for the entire build. A lot of materials I've got spare, which is good for storage for future projects. And I suppose I can still use some of the obsidian just to make some decorations like this. I'm going to do it on every single one of the corner bits of the islands. This bit I'll have some sort of stair structure where the stairs go around like that. And then the same thing also happens, but like in an upside down way. So I guess I need to... This is going to be yeah, this is going to get confusing. It's not actually that confusing. If I go like that, then like that, followed by that, and that. There we go. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm going to get rid of those on top as well. Lovely. I'll do the exact same thing on this bit too, and over here, but not on top of cyan terracotta. I was trying to think of the name of it. I've done so much building, it's easy to forget them. Let's go then build this up. Create another of those platforms, and with that everything is looking quite good. And now I'm going to repeat it 7 more times. There we are. That is enough of them for me. I think I've got them around. I don't want to overdo it with decorations. I think, yeah, there could be something on there to make it a little better, but I'm happy with this. This is the end base. This is what we've spent all this time creating. 500 days in the making, and there's just one thing left to do. I've got to get those dragons which are a long way away, into the cages. This is what I've been putting off for ages, alright? And probably with good reason. But I can put it off no longer. Time to get some endstone, get some pistons, and just get moving them. And then I'll be able to build the cages up and around them. Until the dragons are in, I can't do that. So yeah, let's go through this. I've got to find the way to the portal. Looks very fancy indeed. It is snowing and I'd love to sleep, but I don't know if I do that, I might not have enough time to move them. So let's not cut any corners. Let's give ourselves the maximum amount of time. Definitely don't want to be going over time if I can help it. I'll need levers, pistons, and in fact, I'm going to grab all the items I need to make a fly machine, because for some of them I might have to do that rather than just push them block by block. I don't need to go in there. I meant to go in the endstone chest. I don't know why I went all the way down there. I think that's everything except for some slime blocks. And I think I'm probably going to need a ridiculous amount of temporary blocks. So let's just grab a shulker box, some extra netherrack, and I want to bring loads and loads of endstone as well, just for like push them about. Lots of bridges need to be built. That's it. That's perfect. What exciting times ahead. So I have realized an issue. I have got one dragon there and one dragon there, but I completely forgot that 2 of the dragons went through the end gateways. I should have brought them back before building all this. Now, it shouldn't be the end of the world, but it does mean I'm going to have to, like, push them all the way back. So, I know there's one through this end gateway, and there's one through an end gateway over there. Start by heading through. Did the dragon just go through? I was just building the tower. Did it go through? It has. Is it going to start flying? Okay, I'm pretty sure if I save and quit, then reload the world. Please, please freeze. It's frozen. Just before going and destroying everything. That was close. That was very, very close. But we've got one of them back, which is good. And I want to start by pushing this one far away as that one is. And then I can set this off and theoretically... Okay, I've done something wrong. The observer's the wrong way up. Never mind. Now take 2. I can set... No, what on earth is going on here? Only I could be stupid enough to mess that up. All right, yeah, that's it. Go back that way. And I'll gather up the glass to put that back as well. I can't believe this. I'll fix that right at the very end. Don't have to worry about it too much now. All I got to worry about is that getting pushed. Is it gonna work, or has something got in the way? Just built a whole new machine. All right, that time it will work. That's far enough away. So for the next task, we fly through here, and that dragon is also completely frozen. Then I build yet another flying machine and push it all the way back. Also gonna see, can I actually stand on it? Oh yes, this is fantastic. At least it is fantastic until I randomly start taking damage from the dragon. Okay, that's annoying. Seems that you can only stand on it for some of it. All right, you know, I'm just gonna fly with it and just patiently wait. I see land in the distance. We're getting closer. I just gotta be careful though, because when I get too near to that dragon, it's gonna start flying, and I've got to make sure that I reload the world before it goes and breaks everything. Yeah, dealing with ender dragons was never gonna be easy. So at this point, I'm gonna fly back towards this dragon. Is it gonna stay frozen? Sometimes it moves, sometimes it don't. Okay, it stayed frozen. That's good. I'm trying not to hurt it. So now, I'm gonna get this one as close as I dare. I think this is probably close enough. Let's break that, okay? Stop the machine. All 4 dragons are in the vicinity. They're all frozen. So now I just have to get them into their cages. I'm gonna first start by pushing this dragon upwards, because yeah, I built that in the way, so I need to move it up, across, and back down again. Using these pistons is pretty straightforward. No point using the fly machine. might as well just keep going with this. And at this point, I'm looking at the hitbox. I think it's definitely high enough. I could, of course, do this with a flying machine. I look weird with the hitbox, don't I? I could do it with a flying machine, but I just feel like it's slow and safer doing it this method. Yes, it's going to take time, and I don't have a great deal of time left until 6,500 days. But I also don't want anything to go wrong, so I'm happy to take my time. Looks like we were high up enough because it's not breaking anything below it. That's good news. Right, guys, I've been pushing this along, and I've made a copy of my world just to test things out before I get the dragons too close, okay? Just to see if it works. If I push this dragon any closer than it is, it decides for some reason, tries to perch and blow everything and destroys everything. I can't have that, okay? I think I'm going to have to sadly give up on the dream of trapping the dragons because there's just no way that I can get them there without it all going wrong. They just keep, well, they stop being frozen for some reason, and I daren't try and solve it, really. I don't know what to do to solve it. These dragons aren't going to go anywhere as long as I don't move any closer. If I take them out, they will fly to the middle and destroy stuff there. I don't want that, so I think I'll just have them hovering. You know, I'll just have to allow them to be hovering around the build. Could even build cages for them, like, outside of the end gateway area. That might be quite a clever idea. Who knows? All I do know is that I need to... Oh, careful. But I need to get rid of this because it's just a massive eyesore. And then I've also got to repair this little bit of broken glass below the build. There we go. That's nicely done. Goodbye, Netherrack, and also Random Observer. Then I'm flying back to this platform to grab the remaining glass that I have so that I can complete these domes. It's just a shame that they haven't got dragons inside of them. Because the dome itself looks amazing. Oh, it would look so good with it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to build the roofs of the other three. Instead, I'm going to test around in between episodes and see if I can find a way to get the dragons closer. I'll just use a copy of the world. Because if I can, you know, I don't have time now to mess about, but if I can in the future, it's got to be worth it, hasn't it? And then maybe you guys have an idea in the comments, you guys that are very clued up on it, might be able to do it. If we could find a way to do it as a community, it would be so worth it, wouldn't it? It would 100% be worth it. And even so, I'm very, very happy with this whole thing. Without the dragons, you know, it's a shame, but it's still an unbelievable build, and I'm so proud of how it looks. I mean, now when I come to the end, it's a cool place to be. It's none of this just average, oh, and an end island, no. This is a true end hub, a proper custom place. And I haven't even built any farms in it, really, other than like an Enderman farm in the middle there. There's loads of space down here to build some stuff, so I will have things in these gaps. And worst case, if I can't work out how to get the Ender Dragons nearer, and they have to stay far away, I'll build some cages out towards the end gateways. They'll still look great. I can just like kind of use the same designs I've got for that. Big, massive dome, stick them in there. It'll still be really, really good. Just not in the position that I wanted it to be. But still, a good enough plan for me. It's also now dark, so I should probably sleep. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That was 6,500 days in hardcore Minecraft.